So this is question 1x from the review, and this is an excellent question, and we've practiced this in class in addition to 1w, but I understand that can still be a little bit complicated to maneuver. So for 1x, we are solving for v. And so what we're going to do is, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm actually going to isolate the square root of a minus v over c all by itself, and I'm going to move over that L naught. You don't have to do that. You can get rid of your square root first. Either way, we're going to have to do both steps at one point or another. Okay. So now I'm going to get rid of that square root. So every other term gets an exponent 2. And then we've broken open that square root. So now what we're going to do is, you have two options. You can either create a common factor, because we have two denominators, or you can combine fractions. So that a minus v over c, we could create that to be a fraction as well. I'm going to use the DAF approach, and my common factor is going to be the LO2C. And so I'm going to multiply every single term by L naught squared c, so that I can get rid of my pesky denominators. Okay, so making sure, be careful what you're canceling out, so we know what is canceling out. So what I'm left with is c L squared is equal to LO squared CA minus LO squared V. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to isolate my LO squared V term onto, I'm going to move that to the left side of the equation because right now it's negative. And that's the only term we actually have that has a V in it. So we don't really need to worry about lumping group terms together. Okay, and so what I'm going to do now is just divide my left side by L naught squared to isolate V over L naught squared. Now, I would be fine for this as an answer, okay, in terms of a simplification. However, we can take it one step further, as we have c as a common factor, both on our numerator. So we could actually pull c out if we wanted to, and then in brackets have L naught squared a minus L squared all over L naught squared. So either one of these answers I would accept for your final. As long as the main thing when you're factoring out a term is that you can, for instance, we're solving for v in this question. If there was more than one term that had v, then we would have to pull that term out and then have brackets for a multiplication. So that's really where it matters the most. Other than that, I'm not too picky as long as you've done the math correctly.